Arsenal seriously need to bring in big stars next summer's transfer window to take us to that next level to win the Champions League and win the Premier League in the future. And today I'm going to go through players I think Arsenal should sign, but also players we need to get rid of so we can go to that next level. But before I begin, if you could smash that subscribe button, smash the like button and turn on notifications, it would be very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's begin. Arsenal need a superstar winger. And although Martinelli has been in fantastic form for us over the last 2 seasons, I think it's time to bring in a tricky winger who is known for dribbling and fantastic output. And for me, big bucks needs to be spent on this area. And the man for the job has to be Rafael Leao of AC Milan. Born and raised in Almada, a city that is separated from Portugal's capital city by the 25 de Abril Bridge, Leao joined Sporting Club de Portugal's academy at the tender age of 9. The electric young forward impressed as he moved through the youth rankings at both club and international level. Leao was part of the Portugal Under-17 team, which won the UEFA Under-17 European Championships in 2016. And just a year later, he made his professional debut, coming as a substitute for Sporting B and scoring a late equaliser versus Braga B as a 17-year-old. Leao then made the move over to Lille, and then he ended up at AC Milan, where he is at the moment, for a fee of around 30 million euros. His 3rd season at AC Milan was truly Rafael Leao's year. In the 2021-22 season, he was electric, direct, aggressive, skillful, and packing lots of end product. It was a true breakout campaign for the Portugal international, and since then, he's not looked back. He was instrumental in Milan winning their first Scudetto in 11 years, scoring 11 goals and providing 8 assists, finishing as Milan's top scorer but also top assister. Leao would then go on to be named Serie A MVP for 21-22. But why is Rafael Leao somebody that needs to come to Arsenal? Well, when he was playing in Stefano Pioli's 4-2-3-1 system, Leao gave Milan a creative spark in wide areas where he can terrorise defenders, particularly in 1-versus-1 situations. Something which we struggle on from the left flank in particular. Martinelli has really struggled to beat his man this season. Hopefully it's just a blip, but Leao offers that direct style of attacking where he looks to aggressively accelerate past the defender, making him a nightmare for Serie A fullbacks to face. Since the start of the 21-22 season, Leao had attempted the most take-ons in the league with 268. He has completed more successful take-ons than any other player with 134, and he has the best take-on success of any player in the top 14 for take-on attempt. This season hasn't really been Rafael Leao's best season, and I think that will be a good thing if any club wants to sign him. But in this analysis, I'm going to look in particular at the 2021-22 season and the 22-23 season, where Leao was just unstoppable. In the prior seasons to this, Rafael Leao ranks in 4th for most non-penalty goal involvement, as well as ranking 5th for non-penalty shots across the whole of Serie A. And for a team like Arsenal, which tends to struggle to get a lot of shots off in games, especially in those where we're playing low blocks, mid blocks, I think someone like Leao, who has the quality to create shots out of nothing, is very much needed. We can't just rely on Bukayo Saka from the right flank, who's probably our best player when it comes to taking shots. We need that potency from the left flank, and Rafael Leao has that potency, skill and quality in abundance. Finally, I'm going to look at progressive carries, and Rafael Leao, especially in the 21-22 season, has been really good with progressive carries. And this is what we need. In those big games, we need somebody that has the ability to run with the ball for 40-50 meters and then have the ability to then make a pass or even a shot. This season in the Premier League, we have Martinelli and Saka high up for progressive carries. But Martinelli hasn't really shown the quality when he gets to the penalty box to provide assists or score goals. So having like a Leao and a Bukayo Saka in the same side means you've got that optimal level of creativity and optimal chance of scoring goals. And this is no disrespect to Martinelli, but I feel like this system is very much changing and it's going to be hard for him, especially when we like to overload that right hand side and then quickly switch it. You would bet your money more on a player like Rafael Leao to provide that out wide quality than someone like Martinelli. And that's not to say Martinelli doesn't have a place in this team, because he is absolutely fantastic. But if we really want to be going for them big trophies, Rafael Leao has the quality that is needed for any big side. Before we go on to the next player I would love Arsenal to splash cash on, I think we've got to talk about players that need to leave. And unfortunately, Thomas Partey has been really good for us, but his availability is shocking. Availability is the best ability, and Mikel Arteta needs his squad for every single game. And Thomas Partey just hasn't been available, and we've needed him so much this season. Next season, we just can't be reliant on him, and we can't rely on him to stay fit. And it hurts to say that, but if we want to be at that next level, Thomas Partey has to go. And there's so many clubs that are interested in him, from the Saudi League in particular, willing to pay around 20-30 million. And I think that's really good profit on Partey. And we can then invest it towards the players that I'm going to talk about in this video, like Rafael Leao. Next up, someone we should sell is Aaron Ramsdale, and this shouldn't come as a surprise, as he just hasn't been getting the minutes that he deserves this season. And I think in terms of a replacement for him, there is a lot of good young goalkeepers, but I think this lad at Sunderland, Anthony Patterson, who's just 23 years old, may be the best for us. Get that homegrown player in to replace Ramsdale going out, somebody who's a really good shot stopper and also really good with his feet. He's got 13 clean sheets for Sunderland this season in 43 games and has so much more to learn and grow. Just like Ramsdale when he went down with Sheffield United, Patterson from the Championship has a lot of quality and somebody who Mikel Arteta can turn into a really good player. There has been murmurs about him leaving Sunderland at the end of the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he came to the Emirates. And in terms of a fee, it's around about 10 million being talked about right now. Probably expect that to double, but still a really good deal for a player who's only going to get better. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about these players that I think we need to get rid of, the likes of Marquinhos out on loan, Tavares out on loan, Tierney as well, although I've loved him for Arsenal. His time is up. We can probably get a decent fee for him. Lokonga as well. I feel like he's a really good player, but I just don't feel like it's going to happen for him at Arsenal. Reece Nelson, Arteta clearly hasn't shown enough trust for him to warrant staying. And Eddie Nketiah, really good talent, but I feel as though he is better off for his career to move elsewhere. Then you've got the likes of El Neni and Cedric Suarez as well. Now the next player we might need to sell, and it hurts for me to say this, is Leandro Trossard. Fantastic footballer, absolutely nothing wrong with him. He has the quality to play for us, and that's without a shadow of a doubt. But I feel like we need a variety of profiles. It really is him or Gabriel Jesus for somebody we need to sell. We can't have two of the same player, and I feel like one of them needs to go so we can have money to spend on areas where we are lacking in the squad. And yes, Trossard has been phenomenal for us, but the fact he has been phenomenal probably means we can get a really good fee for him. And I know already there's going to be comments talking about why, but just think about the profiles we have in this squad. Jesus, Trossard, two players that have similar abilities and capabilities. You can't have two of the same profiles in a squad which wants to dominate in multiple areas, and that's why I've suggested Rafael Leao, who has that speed that Trossard doesn't have and that trickery inside and outside of the fullback. But certainly with Trossard's age, I feel like he is the player we can really profit off and capitalize and sign someone that's even better. Now, although I haven't talked about selling Zinchenko, I feel like if there is an offer above 35 million, we must take it and then use that money on somebody like Jorel Heito, who's just 18 years old. And although I think it would be unlikely, considering he's already signed a new contract or will sign a new contract to Ajax, I feel like he's the sort of player we would need to add into the squad. Coming from Ajax, who have a brilliant history of building up players that have that footballing philosophy. We've seen glimpses of Jurrien Timber, and this boy is going to be as good as him, if not already nearly as good as Jurrien Timber. Captaining Ajax at 18 and 17 years old is no joke at all, and Mikel Arteta wants leaders. Heito has that, and he also has the ability. I definitely put Jorel Heito under luxury signing. One of those, if you can do it, do it. If not, wait and get him later on, because he is worth every single penny. Now let's move on to someone else, and I think this guy would be the perfect Partey replacement, and that is Amadou Onana. At just 22 years old, Onana is a huge physical presence in the centre of the pitch. Standing at 6'5", he has a dominance that just can't be coached. He has the technical ability and the strength to dominate any midfield. His front-footed style enables him to intercept passes or recover any loose ball. And against Bayern, I'm afraid that the truth is Arsenal just weren't winning those second balls. It felt Jorginho was really isolated with Rice playing higher up the pitch. It just felt we didn't have control in that midfield. And with Onana's long legs and brilliant intercepting ability, we wouldn't have lost to Bayern at all. The perfect thing about Onana is he can play that sitting number 6 role and play back up to Declan Rice, but also play in that advanced number 8 role. So you have 2 for the price of 1 with him. But there's one more player I think Arsenal should sign in the summer transfer window. And if you have got this far, please comment below. And thank you very much, and like the video if you haven't already, because this player goes by the name of Frenkie de Jong of FC Barcelona. Before I go into the positives of this signing, I'm going to look at why I feel like this is a realistic signing, but also the potential cons of it. For example, Frenkie de Jong has such high wages, and Barcelona may demand a high fee for the Dutchman. But the fact they've previously accepted an offer from Manchester United for him, but he rejected to go there on personal terms, means there is some hope that if we can agree personally with the player, that a deal can be done. Frenkie de Jong has said that he wouldn't mind going to Arsenal in an interview, saying that he's looked at the Marc Overmars route and seen it as something he would have liked to do. This gives us hope as Arsenal fans, because could you imagine a midfield of Frenkie de Jong in the left side, Martin Odegaard on the right, and Declan Rice sitting behind them? It would be ridiculous. I don't think any midfield would be able to stop us. Frenkie de Jong is a luxury player. He offers something different. He offers both defensive stability, but also attacking threat too. If you see the way this guy dribbles out of pressure, it is ridiculous. He would help us against teams that sit back and put a low block, but also against teams where they come and attack us, like Manchester City and Liverpool. These clips just show Frenkie de Jong as the quality player he is. He doesn't deserve to be sitting behind so many options such as Gundogan, Pedri, Gavi, Fermin Lopez. There's just so much quality and so many players at Barcelona that a starting role at Arsenal has to be lucrative for him. Notice how most them clips come from the left hand side of the pitch, where there's a bit of a hole for Arsenal. The fact he's already familiar there means Arteta won't have to do too much coaching, and he's someone you can chuck in straight away and would fit that role like a glove. Anyway, that's it for now, Gunners. Hope you enjoyed, and please tell me what you think about this transfer window. Would this be enough for us to go to that next level, or do you think there's other players we need to be looking at, and players that I've listed that we should be selling that actually need to stay at the club? And I know a lot of you will be shouting striker, 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 but I think the striker market will be better next season with the likes of Evan Ferguson likely available. If you have enjoyed, a reminder to please smash the like button and subscribe. Peace.